This clip is from homework 34, problems 132 to 135. And I'm going to start by talking about direct variation. Direct variation is a graph of a linear function that passes through 0, 0. And all direct variation formulas are in the form d is equal to the r times t. Distance is rate times time. Notice there is no slope in this. Again, they all pass through 0, 0. So in this particular instance, it's the job is equal to the jobs per hour times hours. We know that Jamie can do the job in 6 hours, so one job is Jamie's rate, or the rate sub j, times 6 hours. If we divide both sides by 6, we get his rate to do the job is one job in 6 hours, or one job per hour, 6 hours, one job per 6 hours. Now, together, they do it in 4.5 hours. So we're going to look at the rate of Jamie plus the rate of Kit together in 4.5 hours. That gives me one job. And if I divide both sides by 4.5, I get together the rate of Jamie plus the rate of Kit is 1 over 4.5. Now, I want to know what rate of Kit is, so I'm going to substitute my rate for Jamie into this equation. I get 1/6 plus the rate of K of Kit is equal to 1 over 4.5. If I do the inverse operation, I'll try to get the r sub k by itself. R sub k is equal to 1 over 4.5 minus 1 over 6. Now you can slow this tape down if you need to ponder this and to figure out what it's really saying. I found that the least common denominator is 18. You could also stick this in your calculator and then change it to a fraction to get this. It needs to be in a fraction form. And you'll see why in just a minute. When you get the rate is 1 over 18, that's jobs per hour. So it takes him 18 hours. It takes Kit 18 hours to do the job. And that's my rate for Kit. We're going to look at three numbers. N is the middle number, n plus 1 is the next larger number, n minus 1 is the next smaller number. When we add all three of these together, we get 3n. And that's going to be the middle number. N is going to be the middle number of the three numbers. Three consecutive numbers. Three consecutive integers, excuse me. Here we have a small pool. The volume of a pool is equal to the volume of a rectangular prism is length times width times height. So we have 20 times 12 times 4 feet times feet times feet, which is feet cubed. And that's going to give me a volume, excuse me, of 960 cubic feet. Well, cubic feet is not going to help me when I'm filling it at 5 gallons a minute. I need to change that to gallons. So I'm going to take my 960 cubic feet and multiply it by 7.5 gallons per cubic foot. See, the cubic feet cancel and I'm left with gallons. So when I multiply this times 7.5, I'll get 7,200 gallons. And I'm filling this at 5 gallons per minute. Well, I don't want gallons per minute. I want the minutes. So I'm going to change this to 1 over 5 minutes per gallon. When I multiply that times gallons, it'll leave me with minutes. So 1 over 5, and again, you can slow this down if you need to. I'm speaking kind of fast. I'm writing kind of fast. But the idea is that you can slow the video if you need to ponder it down. So we have 1,440 minutes, and that doesn't mean anything to me. How many hours is that? Well, if I multiply it by hours per minute, there's 1 hour for 60 minutes. That'll give me hours, which is 24. 24 hours to fill this big pool. That's reasonable. Now we have Jan walking 2 miles at a constant rate for 3 miles, and then at a constant rate of 1 mile for 8 miles per hour. I want to know what the miles per hour is. That's her speed. My miles is going to be 2 plus 1. That's 3 miles. And I'm going to change this to 1 over 3 hours per mile. When I multiply that times the miles, that will give me the hours. So for the first leg of this journey, I did 2/3 hours. And again, 8 miles per hour. I want it to be in hours per mile. I'm looking for hours. So I'm going to write it 1 over 8 times 1 mile, which will give me 1 over 8 hours. And I can add these two things of hours together to get my try to calculate my average speed, I already have the miles. I need the total hours. So 2/3 plus 1/8 is what I'm looking for. Common denominator, 24. And we get, on the bottom 24, you get 16 plus 3, which is 19 over 24 hours. And that's going to be my time that goes up here. So we have 2 plus 3 is 2 plus 1 is 3, and 19/24. Now, I don't like the fraction at the bottom. You could plug this into a calculator, but I'm going to just do it by multiplying it by 1 and canceling out the 24s. So here I get 72/19, I think is what it is, 72/19 miles per hour. And that we can translate that, that's about 3.8 miles per hour. It's about 3.8 miles per hour. And the last question is the average speed equal to the average of the two speeds? Well, the one speed is 3 miles per hour and the other one is 8 miles per hour. If you add those together and divide by 2, that'll give you the average of those two speeds, and it's 11 over 2, which is 5.5 miles per hour. They are not the same. Wow.